And it's time for the LIV Golf post-game show. Well, the first round here in Bedminster just about in the books, and Cam Smith, it just seems every tournament we show up at, one of these big players turns up to play. It was Bryson Dechambeau at the Greenbrier, and it looks like at the early stages to be Cam Smith today.
Yeah, he was phenomenal today. Just turned in a performance on a golf course that really beat the living daylights out of these players today. I can't emphasize enough just how difficult it was out there. The wind blew, 7,540 yards long, you know, par 71, 66 is a great score.
It is a great score, and we're always going to have a big name in contention. It's just the structure and the beauty of LIV Golf. 48 players, and a lot of them are some of the best in the entire game. So it's not unusual, but it is certainly not unusual either to see it being Cam Smith. It's a course where you have to keep it in the fairway. He did drive it better today, but it does give you a bit of room. It's not a claustrophobic course. It's a big boys golf course.
14 players out of 48 under par, so that means 34 over par in round one. Let's take a look at some Cam Smith highlights then. This is for birdie at 3. Only needed 4 putts on his opening 4 holes. Cam Smith today. Victorious in London 2 events ago. He, of course, teed off at 2 today with Brooks Koepka and Sergio Garcia. That was his tee shot at 4. Made birdie there as well. This for birdie at 12. And Ripper GC just pegged back towards the end of the opening day by Stinger, who had a share of the lead, both on 4 under par. That was for birdie at 15 for Cam. And then this approach shot at 18. And that almost went in, but that was a birdie, and he ended with a par on the first. So the individual leaderboard after 18 holes of our 54. Cam Smith with a 1-stroke lead over Charles Howell the third. Dustin Johnson and Patrick Reed, 2-4 aces. Level on 3 under par in third place. Excellent opening days for Abe Ancer, Jason Kokrak, Dean Bedminster, Bernd Wiesberger as well, and Bubba Watson there on 2 under par. Phil Mickelson with a very handy opening round of 70. He is 1 under par. So delighted to be joined by Charles Howell III after a 4 under par first round of 67. Charles, it looked tough out there. You're one of only 14 players under par in the first round. How do you assess your first day's work here?
Well, at the start of the day, I would have taken anything under par, and that still is true for the next 2 days. It's extremely difficult. The rough is quite a bit thicker than it was last year, and we're having a hard time getting the balls on the green if you miss the fairway, so it's a heck of a test. I
was talking with Hudson Swafford, who came in and joined us for a little bit of commentary. Is it a type of course that really tests every aspect of your game?
Well, 100%. It feels like a major championship, you know, because you feel the pressure on the tee to get the ball in the fairway, and then if it's in the fairway, now you're trying to play it to a certain spot on the green and not get it, you know, down one of these swales and valleys if you miss it. And then obviously the greens have plenty of slope in them, so it's I mean, arguably the hardest test of the year.
Why don't you help us talk through some of your highlights here, Charles, from the first round. A birdie opportunity here at 18.
Yeah, this one broke a lot to the left because I'd seen the other 2 guys in the groups, both their balls miss low. So this one here was nice to take advantage of kind of a front left flag here on a short hole. Another putt a little bit right to left, and And this here, this hole here, you just make a par on. I mean, a birdie here, you feel like you're stealing one.
That's number 7.
Yeah, that's. I'll take 3 threes there and all day.
Second shot at
number
the
9 here. So I wanted to hit a 52 degree. My caddy talked me into a wedge. So he definitely gets the credit for this one. So it's he got his 1 club right for the week.
And you follow that up with a birdie attempt here at 10.
Yeah, it's nice to make a putt of this length here, and had an uphill putt, really not much break into it. Yeah, the greens are rolling awesome. I mean, even with the rain and a bit of moisture, they're great.
And then, speaking of a hole you only want to make par on, but this for birdie, 14.
Yeah. Well, this is a drivable par 4 for me, so 247 yards, it's drivable par 4.
I spent 23 years on the PGA Tour. I feel rejuvenated to come out here. It's a bit of a new life, and a second wind being around all the young guys pushes me. Well, that's out there, not in the broadcast booth, unfortunately. You started the season in incredible fashion. And we've talked a lot about great rounds of golf that we've seen, not least a couple by Bryson DeChambeau last weekend, you know, the 61 and then this remarkable 58. But if we go back to the start of the season at Mayakoba, your final round, was it 63?
Yes.
When all around you, the wheels were falling off from your challenges. Is that an underrated round of golf that we've seen so far in the LIV Golf League this year?
Well, I don't know about underrated, but yeah, that golf course, it has your attention every hole, and you know, if you miss a fairway there, you're probably going to make double. So really, no lead is safe, and you know, I'm obviously watching the leaderboard, but also trying to keep the rails on this thing and keep the ball in the fairway and finish it off. And you know, when you haven't won in a long time, it's not easy, and I was definitely feeling it, especially around that place. I mean, there's really no place you can sort of relax and turn it off a bit. So you've got to get the ball in the fairway, got to get the ball in play, and obviously playing the first event of the year. You know, we're all kind of a little bit anxious and nervous to get the year started, and you're starting it on a place like Mayakoba where there's just trees everywhere, and I was glad I got it done in the end.
23 years on tour, coming out of Oklahoma State. You never really struggled to ever maintain status. You were always in that upper echelon of players on the PGA Tour. And you had a long 23-year and very prosperous career, I mentioned earlier on the air. Now you come to LIV Golf. Give us your perspective on what it has been like for you. I mean, obviously everybody had their reasons for coming, but you mentioned it in your comments. It's giving you new life, but give us a little bit of your perspective on what it's actually been like from a player standpoint.
Well, for me, it's my first event was here last year, so it's been, I mean, not exactly a year, but roughly a year from it, and it's been one of the best golfing years of my life. It really has. Playing on a team, playing with guys. It really, even the 48 guys assembled out here, you know, I've become better friends with each and every one of them, and it really has given me a second win. You know, if I'm on the driving range and there's, you know, Eugenio Chikara out there and Jed Morgan and these kids and James Pyatt and et cetera, and then, you know, those guys really push me because it's kind of a new start and a new beginning. But it's a whole format, the whole league is just, it's been incredible what we've done in a year, and I think it's only going to get better.
You still have a chance of finishing in the top 3 individually in the LIV Golf League, and the Crushers still have a chance of getting that first round bye at the team championship. You're currently in 5th place, Charles. You're only 9 points outside of 4th spot. Where are you today? 1 under par, so in 6th place, but it's a low-scoring day today in the team competition. That was Bryson DeChambeau's eagle attempt at 8, and then for birdie at 9. And you as a team, it's an eclectic bunch. You've got a couple of Americans, you've got an Indian in Anaban Lahiri, you've got Paul Casey, the Englishman, but
yes,
you are in touch with each other a lot, aren't you?
No, we are. We're a great team. You know, Paul and I have known each other forever, even back before the days of college golf. Him at Arizona State, me at Oklahoma State. Obviously, Honor Bob we've known forever. Bryson as well. So we're a great bunch, and yeah, we love Bryson. I mean, we love how hard he works. We love his competitiveness. We love his quirkiness. We love everything about him. And I think it's worth mentioning again, 61-58 on the weekend last week. So I can't. I still haven't quite gotten over those 2 rounds of golf.
Yeah, we're still rubbing our eyes. Actually, the team standings at the end of the opening day here at Bedminster. So Ripper GC actually do have a 1-stroke lead over Stinger, who dropped a shot very late on. The 4 aces, who were disappointed, I am sure, to finish in last place at the Greenbrier. They are level for second place as well, looking to re-establish their dominance in the team competition. What are you looking ahead for here? Charles, you've got yourself in contention going into Super Saturday. How do you play it from here on in?
Well, the golf course is just going to get harder. I think it's going to dry out a little bit. I don't think they're going to cut the rough, unfortunately. No. If that herd of goats could get to work out here, we'd be all right. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be a battle. Pars are still great scores. You can see that on the leaderboard, and take the birdies when you can get them. And, yeah, it's going to be 36 tough holes.
You have some veteran players on your team, as you mentioned. You and Paul go back a long time and have long careers on the PGA Tour. A lot of the teams have some inner team talk and maybe team motivation by the captain. Is it a little awkward when your captain's the youngest guy on your team?
You know, a little bit, but yet, you know, he's kicked my tail in his, look at what he's won, right? So I've just got to keep my mouth shut and listen to him. But no, we've got it's actually a really nice balance of all of us. I think we all see the game a little bit different. You know, Paul and I probably, you know, fairly similar because we're similar age and whatnot. But we love Bryson. You got to love Bryson, right?
Speaking of whom, on Sunday, it was a very, very special day for him, for LIV Golf, for everybody that was involved. This was his third at the fifth. This is just when things were getting motoring in this 58. You were out there playing your own game. Were you aware that something special was happening with Bryson?
Well, yeah, I kept watching the leaderboard, and he obviously made a few birdies early, and he kept making them, and he kept making them, and yeah, he just kept going. This is incredible. I think we walked down to watch the putt on 18, and to make that putt he did in the rain over the hill and slope there to shoot 58.
So whereabouts were you right now?
We were,
at 18?
Paul Case and I were just left to the green here and watching this, and I mean, what a moment, right? Like Bryson worked so hard and he put so much into it, and just to watch him get that celebration and to pull it off and to do it. And you know, I would have been trying to lag that thing in 2-putt for 59, and he knocked it in for 58. So I promise you I wouldn't have made it.
Apparently, 6 hours later, he was in the gym around the Bedminster area, which just goes to show, look, at your level, at professional golfers level, at world-class level, you know, you're going to take this whole thing very seriously. But it would have been quite easy, I would have thought, after achieving something like that, to maybe let the hair down a little bit and celebrate. But he was in the gym up here 6 hours later. Is that just like a little sneak window into his psyche this year?
I think he got lost looking for the front desk. I think that's why he was. No, it does. It also shows the league. I mean, guys are grinding out here. I mean, I'm telling you, the tournament starts on Friday. We get here on Monday. There's guys grinding on the driving range, and guys are working their tails off. I mean, this is a big deal, and we want to take advantage of the opportunity to be here. We want to play well for our teammates, and we want to keep our spot on the league. So this is a big deal, and everybody's working hard, and obviously right from the top at Bryson.
And you are only 35 points out of third place, and a high finish here. Yes. You could close that gap. The money positions are first, second,
you could see
third.
The dollar signs in his head when you mentioned that right there.
Well, I've got the abacus out for the points, working it all out. Charles, thank you very much indeed for joining us so soon after the end of an excellent opening round of 67 here, which is good for second place, just a stroke behind Cameron Smith. Way to celebrate a 58, as people did and are continuing to do around the world. A 58 in the rain, says Tim, with an incredible round at the Greenbrier. A 58, how about that, says Harrowbone. Let's send it down to the practice tee, and Troy Mullins is with a majestic, who is Lee Westwood.
I'm with Lee Westwood and Pete Cowan down here on the range. Short game aficionado. What are you guys working on, though? This is interesting. You started with wedges, but your stance is open?
Short game, anything under 300 yards.
I get very lazy in my wind-up on my backswing.
Okay.
I don't resist enough with my right leg against this bad habit where, before I've even taken it away, my hips start to do this, so I'm trying to keep that very still and wind up over it, and then I have this bad habit where I lean and I drag the club through, so I'm trying to leave the club alone here and turn my upper body over my legs almost and get more open on it to bring the ball flight down, cover it with my chest.
Interesting. I feel like a year ago, last year, right? We were here and you were telling me the same thing, working on my takeaway.
Yeah.
So what?
Do you know what they say about teaching an old dog new tricks?
Difficult.
Difficult. All right, so why are you holding his head? Can you guys go through that and show us?
It really just to stop the lean forward. If we can get the pressure down the right leg and turn around the right leg, the head can stay and the body can open up.
Amazing.
Really, quite simple.
Let's see
really,
another one.
when we do it right, it's quite simple. That's flattened the flight, you see, and then he's moved this way.
Got it. Do you want his right hip to fall forward?
Yeah, we want that to chest to cover
my
it.
hips normally over-rotate this way and then I go this way, so the club gets stuck on the inside and I've got nowhere to turn onto it with as I've gone this way, because then I lose the wrist angle.
We see a lot of guys that hit it far do that. Isn't that a power move, a post move, or is it not? Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, the stretch rotation for the power for the guys, the long hitters.
Yeah.
They want to really stretch the body, which really decelerates their arms and accelerates the club head. So as you stretch, you're actually slowing down, and then your arm's slowing down, and then the club head gets thrown at it much quicker. So, but we don't want all that really. We want a little bit of it, but not an awful lot.
Right,
we're really trying to control the ball flight.
I heard you guys talking about that. So does the course require that a little bit?
No, every shot we want to control the ball flight.
When the breeze is up like it was today, you need it.
But we really need to wind up more so it's in a right position before we even turn onto it, really.
Lee, what makes this course so difficult?
Well, it's pretty long. The rough's up. There was a bit of breeze today, but nothing that you couldn't really contend with. But there's some tough flags out there on the slopes. And when you've got crosswinds, it just makes it difficult. You've got to have control of your ball flight, which I didn't have. Greens are nice. There's no excuse for not making putts on these greens. They're pure.
All right, let's see some more. Pete, is this something you do with a lot of your players out
Well,
here?
controlling the ball flight's the key to everything, really. There's three things you've got to do right in golf. You've got to start the ball on line with the correct flight and the correct spin, and then go and chip and putt if you can do that. Because there's no more to it. That's it. That's it. When you can do it. But obviously, we don't do it all the time.
True.
Yeah.
Now,
Pretty simple game.
When you get to your longer irons, at what point do you stop this drill? And does this change with driver? You said 300 or less.
Driver.
You do it with the driver?
Yeah.
Because as you stand open and put the pressure down the right leg, you've got something to wind against. So you can put the pressure down your right leg, and then you can really turn around it. And then as you're walking through, you can see that then eventually it moves through. So we're trying to get that action really, but without this action and then that action.
It's not new drill either. This is a
25-year-old drill.
Since about 1995.
Yeah, 25-year-old drill.
You'd think I'd have it by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But like all golfers, you fall back into your bad habits. So.
True. All right, let's see
But it's really about controlling the ball flight. That's what we're trying to do here. Get a better wind up and then turn onto it, leaving the club alone so we can get a nice shallow divot. That's it. You can hear it. It's different noise.
If someone wants to work on this, do they go through each club in their bag? Would you suggest like 10 balls each and then going back to your normal stance? How do you go from this to like how you would normally play?
Well, you have to gradually integrate it in.
Okay.
But today, I was struggling to do it at times, so I ended up hitting them out there with an open stance. Not completely open, but certainly with this.
Pressure down the right leg.
So I had something to coil up against it. Obviously, if you drag that back, it makes it easier to turn through this way and get open on it. So it's just a good way of hitting it.
Well, that's why Lee, when he stands with his feet together, he does it all better because he's got one centre to turn around and turn back around, and he can use his body. When you stand wider, you've almost got two centres. So if you this centre here and this centre here, and if you're moving on that centre, you've got to move back across. So it's that's why he's trying to wind around that right, so his centre is still in position, and then he can move around this centre. It's when this centre's moving that the bottom of the arc changes, so the ball flight changes drastically, really.
The more I do it, the better I do it. You see a little generous
Just dropping to the right.
Just falling to the right? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
It's the club. Because I turn the club and don't release it.
Okay.
And
That's the second part. You're
you're holding the shaft pressure and the right wrist angle.
Can you show us that? Sorry to slow that down, but can you explain that again with the left wrist angle?
Well, as you're going back and you wind up there, you've got your angle, and then from here, you're trying to keep the shaft pressure and the right wrist pressure on with the impact, and then your stretch is happening at the right time.
Got it.
And then you see it fold more that way.
And then you fold. Okay.
And it fold.
And we get a better ball flight if we do it correct.
Let you get in there and hold his head.
You can see a little fade coming in now, even though if there's any breeze, it's off the right. You see it starting to drop that way.
Just falling.
So you know you've opened up better to take the club path a little bit more left.
Which is the way I've always been most comfortable playing golf, you know, aiming down the left side and hitting a hard fade. But you can't hit a hard fade unless...
He has a natural bend in his arm, which
In his left arm.
in his
So
left
watching
arm.
his
So
left arm?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he has a natural bend there. So if he can turn onto it and keep that left arm in position, then the shot should naturally fall to the right.
Beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Okay,
Thanks
pleasure.
for letting me interrupt.
Yeah.
I learned something.
We're not gonna
Next year, you'll bet this.
We're not going to give you the secrets in any case.
Same time next year, I'm not
Same
sure.
time next year.
I'm definitely not sure about that. Do you think after 30 years I might...
Great stuff from Troy and Lee Westwood. He turned pro in 1993, 42 professional wins in his career. What a great stalwart to the game Lee Westwood has been, and there's plenty more to come from him. But I want to talk about Cam Smith. 66 today, 6 birdies, just a single bogey in the context of this golf course and what the rest of the field have managed to do today. How special was that?
Sorry, it's a sort of golf course that just doesn't give you a breather. You know, most golf courses you think, well, if I get to 7, 8, and 9, you know, there's a birdie chance here or an eagle chance there. There's absolutely no breather in this golf course. It's just that's why you see there aren't that many players on the range tonight. They're worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really will kick your you-know-what, this golf course.
And we know that the major championships are in the rearview mirror for 2023. So all eyes of these guys now and all their concentration is on where they finish in the LIV Golf League. And if you look at it this way, 40 points to the winner. Cam Smith, if he saw this out, would, with Taylor Gooch currently in 16th place, would only get 3 points. The lead that Taylor has at the moment is 15 points. The swing would be massive, and Cam would have a 22-point lead with 2 events to go and a first prize of $18 million. And you can see the focus on these guys, in these guys' eyes, that they're making the dash now for the dollars at the end.
And they're doing the math. They're doing the math in their head. I mean, they're not going to get too embroiled in the minutia of the numbers and run all the different scenarios, but they do the math. They know that the heart of every pro golfer knows you play good, it takes care of itself. It might be out of your control if Cam Smith goes on and wins the next 2 or 3 regular season events, or if somebody else does, or if Taylor Gooch wins another one. He's almost untouchable. But they are paying attention.
Yeah. Dustin Johnson is 3 under par going into Super Saturday after a 68 today, marred only by a double bogey at 11. His only drop shots of the day. This was his tee shot at 4. DJ teed off at 1 with Bryson DeChambeau and defending Bedminster champion Henrik Stenson. This was for birdie at 5. 4 aces trying to bounce back from a last place finish at the Greenbrier just to maintain that top seed position at the moment. This was for birdie at 15.
I thought Dustin Johnson looked terrific today. Really coming into some kind of form now. The double bogey at 11 was a real anomaly. He played beautifully.
So these are the pylons going into Super Saturday, which we are eagerly awaiting. Cameron Smith with a 66. He's 5 under par, seeking a second LIV Golf Championship of the season. Charles Howell, the third, an excellent round from him. 4 under, just 1 back, and look at DJ and Patrick Reed looking for his first LIV Golf win. They are both 3 under par. Taylor Gooch will know he has work to do after an opening round, a level par 71. Brooks Koepka as well. He can't sleep on 3rd place. He's 1 over par. And with a 72 after the first day of action here. 34 of our 48 players over par on a very difficult golf course. Tricky day for Martin Keimer down there on 11 over par. Now the team pylon going into day 2, and it's very rare that you see scores like this after an entire round. Ripper GC seeking a first LIV Golf victory, led by Cam Smith, of course, but he was 5 under par. He was the only player under par for that team. They lead Stinger by a single shot, and the 4 aces are back to form. They're 3 under. The Range Goats are 2 under par, and Phil's High Fly seeking a first podium finish of the season. They are 2 under as well. Well, an eventful opening day as ever. The light and shade of top-level golf after Bryson DeChambeau's 58 at the Greenbrier. It was tougher going for all today, and it's going to be a real challenge over the weekend. Join us for Super Saturday from Bedminster. From the entire LIV Golf broadcast team, goodbye for now.